also gives us like a fair excuse to kind of act out of conduct, like how you wouldn't be normally behave in society, but just because you are, you could be intoxicated, then to a certain extent, it kind of gives you the freedom to.
Within yourself, it gives you that.
Also, that people are like, oh, okay, he was drunk.
Right.
So then it kind of gives you an excuse to behave as ordered.
Okay.
I would be every single thing in the world as a source of conflict, because you're probably going to have an opposing view. Interesting. No?
Do you mean?
No.
People like everything. Okay, for instance, I know this is bringing it back to the hair and stuff stupid like that, but I used to have shaved head, and it's amazing how people's attitudes change to you just because of the way you have your hair done. Like people used to come up to me thinking I was a boxer and a break dancer when I had a shaved head. And now they just, now they think I'm a bit of a hippie, and the two contrasting ideal sets are completely different. But I haven't changed. I know exactly who I am. I just felt like doing it because it was interesting to see if people's attitudes change, amongst other things, and various other things along that. But it's such a trivial thing; it's so pointless. But I think also you could say the working world is the biggest source of conflict because people overthink things because they've got so much time, and therefore build things up to be bigger than they are. Because I don't know. Sorry.
Working world.
Well, I've got loads of people who've joined. Okay, so left school, everyone's got the same schedule, the same timetable, lots of free time. They're all kind of really relaxed with life, and then they get up, and then when you start getting jobs and stuff like that, everyone's going, "Oh, I've got less time. I've got to focus on certain things."
So that is right the other way. If you're bored, then cause trouble and stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying that the working world is complete to it, but there are aspects about it, like certain personalities go into the working world and go. But if you go from school or something like that, where everyone, or university, where everyone's like, what did you do last week? And everyone's like, did this, and there's variety of it all. And then you go into the working world, and there's not necessarily that variety throughout. So people feel like they're missing out on something, and therefore that creates a kind of uncharismatic uncertainty about what they're doing, and therefore they go, what do I do? I need to feel better all about it. And if they don't get that satisfaction from what they do, or what they can achieve, either through finance or mental simulation or socially, then they kind of make it up or kind of feel inadequate and therefore get crotchety and start arguments about it.
So would you say, is that inevitable that would happen, or is it more
inevitable, but it's
social conditioning?
I think it goes back to that everything can be a source of conflict.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
We can just basically come up with basically the same topics, but
Conflict in the home.
yeah, that's
common. Over money, children.
Domestic conflict. Do you mean like other types of conflict also originate from that, or are you specifically about like conflict in the home?
Yeah, I think simply couples have conflict over how money is spent, how children are raised, who has children.
And so what was it? Well, I think what's an interesting thing about whatever, I don't know what fields you are in terms of what your profession or what you're going to do, but I do a lot of work with young people, and a lot of issues they face is one thing we talk about is a lot of guns and knives and stuff like that, a lot of the social elements within what the young people have to deal with is drugs. There's a postcode thing that I'm not sure if anyone's aware about, but we'll do that stuff. And even from a very young age, like there's the peer pressure thing, which is very common.
That's also kind of a materialistic base, isn't it? Because we work in a world which is based around consumerism, and it's something which is meant to drive people to want more, and therefore I'm saying to achieve. What?
Then at least stop there. But you'll still always disagree. I don't think we'll ever be conflict free. I think it's silly to assume that we'll all agree about everything at some point.
Yeah, but there's a different way of dealing with that. Do you deal with that in a way which is, I don't know, for me conflict is a more severe way of having it than having a debate or an argument or a discussion?
I think if you can't respect difference, you can't live with it. First you've got to respect difference in order to bridge the gap, I think. So let's do that.
Maybe potentially everyone puts too much value on what they should expect from other people, instead of going, you know what, all I should be looking at is what I expect from myself and how I treat people, instead of looking at how everyone should be treating me.
Yeah, like focusing on common values. So have different opinions about certain things, but there are certain values that everyone can adhere to, believe in, or have a common basis. So then we need to relate on those things and not focus on the things that make sense.
Do you want to elaborate on the point you just made?
I don't know if I really can. I was saying I find it difficult to understand. It's quite easy to be people. But I do just think, as lovely as it is to think about we want to wise, we really see the role and be brilliant for peaceful debating meetings. I don't know if that will happen. I suppose now that I think about when the way I was just pitching the level too high and becoming slightly unrealistic. Although it could be an amazing thing. Or maybe I'm just very realistic, but I mean, like, there will always be mental health issues, there will always be parts of us that are more emotional about something than others. And I don't think conflict is necessarily always bad. I think that like inspiration and opportunity to have a right conflict. I suppose it's just not always a great thing to end on. Be healthy, but I feel like maybe you could find that.
I think the best thing I've come up with is
Shall we just advise a way?
Yeah. Matthew, do you want to introduce yourself?
so my name is Matthew McQueen Marish. Also gave the conflict resolution training to UPF, and I didn't want to kind of be a facilitator. I wanted everyone else to kind of be part of facilitating your learning and to basically help you guys come up with your own answers, which is what you guys have been doing. It's been really good. But I was going to go back to helping with this conundrum, which I think there's not really an answer to everything, because like we've all discussed, like there's not, everyone is different and you can't change the world and change the world, I'm optimistic, but it's not going to come about easy, it's not going to come about with one solution. I think the best thing I've come up with is the way that you deal with conflict is going to be different than everyone else. Everyone else deals with conflict different, I deal with conflict different, you deal with conflict different, and I think the best thing that someone can do is to realise that it's not about the other person, it's about how you deal with it. And your response is basically going to put in action how everything is going to work. So if everyone deals with a negative way, you're going to get negative response. It's going to be kind of a cause and effect approach to that. And if you're able to handle it in the best way, and if you've got good intentions, then that good intention will result in positivity coming out of that.
It's quite easy to read positivity. Like if someone's got a good intention, there's a certain tone to their voice, a certain manner in which they speak and come across, which makes it seem unoffensive and I don't know, maybe that's just me, but like you can tell when someone, I think that's probably one thing everyone can tell when someone's completely and utterly genuine, and coming from a really kind of, I just want to make sure everyone's alright, you know. I think that's probably quite decent.
Does everyone feel that sort of, you can tell when someone has good intentions?
I think sometimes, I don't know, I remember one person who was telling me all the time that they had a good intention, but he had to explain it because it wasn't obvious.
about I think the conflict occurs with the idea of not the individuals. And when you take the attention away from the individuals, you can actually focus on the issue at hand. So, in dealing with internal conflict within yourself, you'll see that it might just be a matter of scarcity, that you can't do these two things, they can't exist together. It could be, for example, that you can't hold a particular scientific view and a particular religious view at the same time. So then what you have to do is you have to sort of decide where you stand as an individual. And I think that when you sort of have a conflict with another person, rather than focusing on actually bringing the two ideas to one, we sort of separate and we say, well, this is me, this is you, rather than what we would do with internal conflict. So I think it's important to look at the actual conflict itself. And if you are in a situation where you're in conflict with someone's idea, but you're aware of this, I think it's important to take that responsibility to understand the real issue at hand and direct attention at resolving the idea of sharing understanding, really communicating what needs to be communicated, and also knowing when to step back and let go and just sort of let the situation slide.
I think something which maybe I've been looking at as out of conflict. I think probably the biggest thing is that I don't think we educate people to look at inner conflicts as much. And I think there's a lot to be said for, I know it sounds really hippie, but inner peace, like learning how to deal with your own issues from within inside. And as soon as you deal with those, and you come to terms with those things that you've done wrong, or those things that, whatever, it automatically liberates you a lot more, and you feel a lot less inclined to be so strong-minded about what is right and what is wrong, and an aggressive in nature. It's kind of more of an accepting, because you've accepted it within yourself, and you realise that you can't change the past. And then yeah.
I think it's interesting what you were seeing, that you got the idea of intention and how I can in our one we had some conflict coming out of conflict, and like with your character you were blind and you couldn't see that there was an ashtray, and perhaps if Anna's character had known that, then she wouldn't have fired off. And then there's also in no one like the idea of conflict kind of arising out of necessity. So it was the person when it was looking for a piece of paper to write down, a recipe, and that was the only one available. And maybe the translator that was realised having that, and that it was the Dale farm. Even by it's not, it's not your land, but it's probably in somewhere. And so it's going to cause conflict, but kind of you see it as unavoidable. And then in that case it might be so.
Yeah, I think that conflict can come from stereotyping. So like the way people like the way you look or the way you dress and the way people like perceive you. So yeah.
Alright, that's pretty full. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to add?
This is the kind of use of word for a mistake / yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I suppose I mean that it doesn't have to be, it's another thing. It doesn't have to be intentional, so it could just be that you reverse too fast and knock someone over. It's kind of an active way of
Alright, is everybody happy with that? Alright, so what we're going to do now, we're going to do role plays again in different groups, and instead of the personal items like we did before, we're going to do role plays based on 2 items which are on this board. So if I can split you into different groups, and in your groups you can just decide 2 items from here. So I'm going to do it like the 1, 2, 3, 4 style. gets muddled up. So 1, 2, 4, 1, 2. No.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So yeah, 1. Oh wait, yeah, 1's over here, 2's there, 3's. Okay.
Oh wow. Sugar can be.
What do you really want?
We need one more person. Group 2.
So,
This one.
we're twos.
Yeah.
What's good?
Yeah.
That's good. So you can join one group as well, don't I?
Just one first year. I'm a bit in love with America. It's a bit unfathomable. So I've got to resist. Should we pick two things on the I cannot resist.
I'll just sort of share the mechanism, which is communication, right? And now we can apply it to one thing.
I don't like the argument.
I'm basically
Yeah, I guess more. You find someone to Paul.
But your topic was in dialogue in one aspect.
They work hard on it.
the conflict there could be again for two things. One of them is miscommunication. So only you've been able to tell them that message is
Well, I was poor when I was growing up, and it was apparent that you're living next to and going to school with people who are not so. You always feel like you're conscientious. I mean, you still pull through it. I guess at the very moment there's a slight temptation to just think my situation is absolute. I think you can always, it's up to you. kid in your house, so you start to think, oh, I really miss my parents. So that was free to take. That's a natural way of then you go out and talk and go to a friend's house. My parents showed that they were well. You might carry on that sort of attitude at a friend's house, but when they come out, you'll see they don't address the issue. There's so many but it's long term. I think kids are sort of along the line. They don't know maybe as well. Just trust that person to impact as well as the fact that timed so well. We've got uniforms. We can have a neighbourhood which is of similar economic plight. Generally, if there are 500,000 houses, there's a low event, they will generally be attracted by
there's going to be loads of conflict situations in life.
So we can make the same rule apply. So
you're going to
that's where a lot of crime happens. Not actually in poor areas, but subsidised areas where the state creates actually injustice, basically. Where some people take things off the backs of other people through coercive measures, i.e. taxing and something like that. So, I mean, poor people will be the best quality character-wise, so in the general, vice versa. What you mentioned about this half of you've got the flats being.
Alright, I'll give you guys 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. To do what?
I think it comes to the core of each outward things or not putting things in the face of our times.
Well, we can expand on that. We've got discounts. The area is not war, the area is just everywhere. The government is taking it. Is the government? I've got a knife in my bag, so I can. Maybe he's doing it for his friends. Their question is to do because they want to see if he's got bottles and everything.
Maybe attach the big that whatever value is in yellow.
There'll be questions because some people agree to some people are leading it. There'll always be reluctant, even if you're a group rider. There'll always be something like you don't basically so the leaders do want the result, they want the money from the person who will use coercive on the reluctant to achieve it. I'll be the guy that pushes the guy to do it. I'll be the guy who actually does it, but I'll push it. You don't want to do it. You don't want that's the thing, you don't want to do You be the crack addict.
Yeah.
You be
Would you rather be on track?
So we've got kids in the office.
I'll be like,
guys always carry on by the kitchen. So if you stole the bread, so I'm basically trying to make sure she's going to be what, so you want to
Alright guys, if I can ask you to wrap up and then we'll form the stage again up here. Alright guys, so if you're ready, we can start with Krista's group.
Yeah.
So wait, you need to look at the journey to your pocket. And then you need the desk behind it. No, it has to be. Well, we just have to back to back. One there. One there. Yeah. Oh, should we get it together and in the back?
I think this is not better. This actually is more interesting. This, and he's behind there.
And the table has to go with you.
Yeah, where's the...
Maybe
No, because you're the one who knocked it. Yeah, so it has to be your table.
I'll ship that out.
No, because we're meant to be looking at this.
I think this way, come back.
You do. You can't do this. Actually, you need to have a table.
Rule number 10.
Alright everybody, let's get ready to...
I think it's okay. At least from this side, because no one else can see it. Okay, so what I'm doing. You need to go out.
Alright, welcome class. Thank you so much for coming today. Our first class is going to be about sex education.
Hey, she's buffed, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously. So we're going to talk about safety, and we're going to talk... Okay, just get your books out, and we can continue with this. Okay, someone please pick that up.
Okay.
It's
It's not working, is it?
So, the first things we're going to talk about first. Can you please, be calm and then listen to me? We have three things we're going to talk about. First, safety. What's more important than safety? No, there are many things. There are many things. I don't know what exactly is happening. I'm all voicey, by the way.
You got that, didn't you? Okay, this isn't working. She obviously wasn't listening to our brief.
Why don't you do it then?
So So the whole
You're supposed to pick up.
That pen's meant to be there.
Okay.
And then meant to objectify you. Oh, look at that ass or whatever. And then you get obviously angry, yeah, and send it out. You start getting visibly angry, but we kind of play up to it and
Okay, so we have to...
well, that's how it's meant to go. The film's a lot better.
We can see it happen.
Okay, so do you want to start that over again?
You need to be on that slope. You want to bring that time.
What is his name? You still understood, so what do you do?
No.
I'll do it. But did you understand it? Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So now I've got the pen. There.
Right. I'm not standing on the chair, so you can put it down. Right, today class we're talking about sex education. Less of the oi, okay? So what are the main points that you think that we need to talk about when talking about sex ed? Safety.
Protection.
That's good. Protection.
Boobs.
Can someone pick that pen up, please?
You can't reach it, miss. You help us out.
This is going to fall if I...
Wait, look at that.
Do you think it's right to objectify women? I'm bending down to pick up a pen that doesn't give you any right to look at my ass.
Oh!
She's angry. Now, if you don't calm down, yeah, all of you get... Shut up!
What am I getting?
William, out! Get out of my classroom now! Out!
I was...
Out!
Oh!
Is that what you're trying to get out?
Yeah. It didn't work exactly. You were meant to do me to make it more socially awkward.
I'm ready to continue.
Pardon?
That's it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
There you
If you guys could stay up there, if you just want to give us a little run through,
That's how you'll be a teacher.
just give us a run through of what your thought process was behind it.
Well, we picked education and sexuality. So we put education put scenario inside the school. And yeah, sexuality, I think it's a lot, kind of the views of...
Basically, we were an all-boys school, and we thought...
Teacher is a woman.
Yeah, teachers are women, all-boys school. If you were brought up in the kind of male-dominated boarding school or if it's an all-boys school, your views of the opposite sex are obviously going to be completely... Yeah, so they're going to be focused on certain things. And the whole idea of objectifying women can come from that, etc., 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 and you can get conflicting issues and views on women and objectifying them because no one's there, there's no kind of mediator. And if the whole point is it was meant to be... And yeah, the whole point is that if no one says anything about it, so if a teacher gets overwhelmed by a bunch of rowdy guys, and she doesn't say anything, then we see it as acceptable. And that can obviously be conflicting. So when she walked past, the whole point is that she was meant to get slightly offended but not know how to deal with it. And then finally decide that she was offended enough to want to set it on her and make an example of it. So kind of put that into position. But yeah.
Do you think that was the best way it could be resolved?
Send me out.
Yeah. What do you think?
I don't know. That was Marissa
Play
there.
that.
Fruit person. What?
I was just treating him how I got treated in school.
Did it actually help you? Do you think? It doesn't stop you acting the way you do. I mean, I'm not.
It depends on if you want to do the work. If you want to do work, that's...
I'm saying I got kicked out loads of times, so it doesn't really help you. Doesn't inspire you to change your behaviour.
No, I don't. Like, if the child is bad, the child's going to be bad. There's nothing that the teacher can do. If the child decides that they're going to be unruly in school, then they're going to be unruly. I was an unruly child in school.
majority of conflict do come from home life, don't they? Or insecurity with your peers. So if you're doing something like that, then you're probably, and getting lost at it, or whatever, you're probably being accepted by your peers, so it probably is from home life or outside. So by sending them out, you're leaving them out of the equation again, which is probably what they don't want. And although that might bode well with their peers, they probably want a more homely approach to who they are, which is either respect or a grown-up attitude. Because that's what they think they're missing, and that's what they think they need. So I don't think it's a good idea to shut them out. But then again, yeah.
It would be like your parents saying, get out of the house, and then like teach them responsibility, sort of perceive sort of the background of the children who come to their classroom, sort of to accommodate for what they said before.
Yeah, but you think teachers got the time to do that nowadays?
In time, I mean, I think it's indispensable. If they want a civil class, if they want to convey ideas and educate them, they've got to like hold their backgrounds to account when they try and teach the kids, because their very nature is determined by the families which they grew up in.
Or maybe that's to do family education, but in the end of the day, the teacher's just trying to get through a lesson, and if they're just rowdy kids, you're not going to set them straight in that moment and, get them motivated.
Yeah, it's a long time.
But the thing is I'm not sure there are any structures necessarily in place to deal with kids in a way which is acceptable within the classroom. So if you send a kid to counselling because they're being rowdy, I think that's kind of deemed extreme instead of kind of whatever. If you send someone to detention, that's not really constructive to get them to do their work. If they do it or whatever, it's not necessarily constructive either. There is in the middle ground which kind of is socially acceptable and understood. Like maybe pupils know that there's something going on at home, parents know that as well, but there's no kind of understanding that that's kind of the general understanding. That makes sense. So the way to deal with the situation. I don't know. Anyway.
So I was going to say, if you was teach in a teaching role in a different way, or if you was kind of like a visual editor and see what was happening, how would you deal with that?
How would I deal with the situation if someone's doing? Well, I'm in an all-girls class.
Just say if you saw what happened.
Sorry,
you can say like that, or you can say just say you. Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. It's quite a hard one, isn't it?
Or how would you say?
I would probably look at what I was doing to imply sexual innuendo, like wearing tight clothes and stuff like that is going to imply something more sexual nature than. So I would look at that. Yeah, well, that's the thing. You've got to be aware of your surroundings, don't you? And if you're a teacher, you're getting paid, and it's a boys' school, and you're a girl, and adolescents, and you're going to be looking at stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's like.
No, I'm not against it. The environment. The environment. Like, if that issue's taking place.
It reminds me of this thing that happened where there was a teacher at Harrow who was like Miss Ireland or something, and she was like an art teacher, and then these boys found photos of her, like tasteful photos of her, and circulated them around the school, and the faculty found out. She took some time off, but they didn't punish her. But eventually she quit because it was just too difficult.
Which actors would you say would you want to teach?
Pardon?
We have to look at the time. So
Yeah, no, like we
do like the next role play that we discuss in general.
Yeah.
if we do the next two role plays, we discuss space and then we'll read together.
We have 3 more, so
Three, okay.
we'll go through them.
Yeah, and then we'll discuss it. And then
So let's give that group a round of applause. And we'll light up and Rosie's group.
do you need a chair?
You need to
mean, I didn't really look at it. It was just water bottle. So I mean, could have been it. Might not have been.
Okay. I'll send an email and just check because it means a lot to me. So. Email. No response to email. Okay. I can't believe you sent email to her.
What?
I can't believe you threw out that water bottle. It meant such a lot to me. It's so inconsiderate. I'm really hurt. And I just, I think you should really do something about it.
Email? Oh my god, I can't believe she's just being so petty. It was just a water bottle. And if she left it lying around in a messy office, it's bound to get thrown away. And, I mean, we're both professionals here, working in a big fancy office. This is not something to be taken into consideration when, well, there's bigger issues to be dealt with. Anyways, we should forget about it eventually.
Management meeting. Hello. Hi.
So, I've there's some problems in the office. What's going on?
It's nothing much really. I don't really want to work very much with her.
Why?
She just isn't very considerate, and we don't get on. It's not a very good working relationship.
Okay. Can you explain more?
I'm sure you know that she threw out this bottle. She just doesn't seem to care. She's not very nice person.
Okay.
And she hasn't said sorry. She hasn't apologised, and I just would rather not work with her.
Have you spoken to her about it?
I sent her an email, but she didn't reply.
Okay. And what do you think is the best way that we could resolve this?
Well, she needs to send back, she needs to reply to my email and apologise and just show a little bit of caring.
And is there anything that you could do?
No, I didn't do anything, did I? It was my bottle and she threw it out.
Right. So, what do you do?
No, I'll just wait until she emails, and next week we'll catch up and we'll see how it goes. But just for this week, let's just not do much work. But I don't really want to work.
Right, I think I'm going to have to talk with her as well.
Yeah, you called?
So I heard there's some problems with your colleague.
Oh, she's still caught up with that water bottle. I mean, first of all, it's just the water bottle. It looks very expendable, and to be honest, we're in a very working environment, and I just find it very unprofessional for her to just be caught up with a small, minor hiccup and just, yeah.
So you made a mistake.
It was a mistake. It was never intentional. I never knew it was important to her.
But
that,
could you apologise?
But she's just making such a big deal out of it, almost as if, I don't know, it's just a water bottle. It was nothing, and it's not really professional of her to even send that kind of email in the first place.
Why? Why is it not professional?
Because you're not supposed to bring petty things like that and make a big deal out of it. It's just, I mean, that's something that you do in your personal time, maybe at home, but not when you're being paid.
Do you think you should email her back and apologise, and then this whole thing will be sorted and I can carry on with my job?
Mandy doesn't go.
Well,
I think you should just go and sort it out. I can't afford it.
I don't know if we did. Yeah. So there are two different resolutions, which we could act out, but it might just be more of the same. Oh yeah. So resolution 1, which is current resolution, it's 5 months later. They really don't like each other, and it's really because of this water bottle incident. But they do work together, and they don't like each other very much at all, and it's all because of this bottle. Resolution 2 is to stumble into the coffee room together.
Okay. Sorry about the water bottle.
explain
Ready?
your
Okay, this is a household, and I'm cooking. And I'm in the kitchen. My cup, who's taking my cup again?
check the dishwasher.
It's not there. Why can't you put it back in its place? I can't understand it.
Oh, honey, I sure didn't leave it by your bedside.
This is something that drives me bananas. I mean, I have a cup.
So
my
can you guys
cup.
keep it down, please? I'm on the last level.
Billy.
You won't have dinner if you go on like
Billy,
that.
your mother and I are having a discussion.
I didn't know. Okay. Hey, where's the salt? This is the chef of the salt.
It's in the same place it always is.
No, it is not there. It is not there. This is another thing. When people take things out of their place, they should put it back. It drives me mad. I mean, honestly, I'm not going to cook. Unless you find the salt, I'm not going to cook. You're not going to have dinner.
What does it matter? It's right across the counter.
Where is it? I can't see it.
Salt's in
Come
the
and
kitchen.
get it. Come and get it.
It's here somewhere. Check the pantry. Here it is.
Now, you tell me, why couldn't you put it back in its place? That simple
what
thing.
What doesn't matter? I don't make the meals around here.
It's a simple thing. It's a very simple thing. Now, I'm telling all of you, unless you put things in their place, I'm not going to operate in the kitchen. Full stop. That's it. Is it not simple enough to understand?
Absolutely.
Is it simple enough to understand? I'm asking you. Look at this guy. He's on the phone or something. What are you doing?
He's a child.
Do you want food or not? Okay, maybe I'm very angry about something very small, but it affects my life. But for you guys, you're not serious at all.
Little Tommy is fine.
Oh no, don't cry, come back here.
Honey, I'm sorry I misplaced the salt. I'll go speak to Tommy.
Bring Tommy back. So what should we do then?
Yeah.
What do you think we should be doing?
Absolutely. We should definitely do that.
What?
What you said.
I mean, nobody owns up here. It's not like this in your house. It's crazy. Nobody owns up the mistake. And then when I'm angry and it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, poor baby. Hey, Gary, don't cry, baby.
Sometimes your parents argue, but we still love you.
Really? I'm sorry. Was it you who mislaid the salt? Was it you?
You can tell us. Don't worry.
Okay, Chris, you tell me what we should do.
Okay. You carry a little pouch with you at all times with the salt. Therefore, it can never be misplaced.
It's not just the salt, do you understand? Okay, my fault is I am overreacting.
Yeah.
But what is wrong in putting something back in its place? Is it not simple to do? I'm also talking to you, young man.
Yeah.
We need to work together with.
Definitely, we need to work together.
Okay, I will work on not getting angry. Only if you promise. Only if you promise to do your bit.
Yeah.
And put the things that, you see, even now you're not talking.
Oh yeah, no. Wow. This is okay. Cool.
This is it. Listening means you understand what I'm saying and you do it. I'm the mummy. Okay?
Yeah.
And mummy will not get very angry if you do these little things. Well, it's simple, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we should do
We'll
this.
try our best. I promise to never
You
misplace the
must help
salt.
me more, darling.
I'll discipline our kids.
You
Send
do
them
that.
to boarding school.
No, listen.
No, that's not the solution. The solution is that we work together and get it resolved. Okay?
Okay.
That's the solution. Okay?
By listening.
You're not going to have cry, and you're not going to cry, right?
Yeah, don't cry.
But this is really happens in my house all the time.
Love your cooking. Thank you, guys. Okay, final group, you ready? Would you like a nice, like, sort of couch?
Yeah.
To sort of emphasise your situation.
know what I'm doing yet, so I'm just like.
Well, let me just say, we chose peer pressure and we chose
Family.
yeah, it's basically sort of like poverty. So we decided to reflect on. Yeah. All right.
Could you do me a massive favour?
No.
Please, we don't have the money.
Well, then stop using crap then, innit?
I don't know. Do I? We're not going to have anything to eat tonight. We'll just run to the shop and get
Well,
some
give
bread or
me some
something.
money then, innit? I'll go shop. Where's the money?
It's gone. I'm sorry. Maybe you could go to Grandma's on the way back and ask her for some.
Grandma's on holiday. Give me some money.
I don't have any money. I need it. Go get bread. Just bread.
Oh my God, man! I'm living in this council house, right? Yeah. Come on. So I'm living in this not too bad. So we're living in this council house, right? My mum, she's lived in it 17 years. She works all 10 hours a day, right? We're forking out 800 quid a month to pay for rent. And I heard on the news, she lives off the street. They get subsidised. They don't even pay.
Is it?
Yeah, I heard the ladies off her head. They're spending all her money, not giving anything back to our community. My mum's forking out all her time, basically, right? Next time we see her door, because we know that she's just going to the shop so that her mum, her mum can just carry on her disgusting habit. Yeah. So yeah, I know you're new, yeah, but I want you to basically lay into the lady, wherever she's got in her bag, she's going to come back. Where is she? She's just passing across the chemist. She's just walked past the chemist. Yeah. So I say, go. Even though you might not want to do it, yeah, because she's basically leeching off the community. Go and get it. Just parasite.
Oi, give me a bag. I've got a gun.
Yeah, I look shit scared. Don't I? And then basically I come home, I've been mugged, and my mum's like, yeah.
Where's the food? Got mugged.
Yeah.
You've been living on this estate for 17 years. Can't you take care of yourself? This is the third time this week.
We better end with that.
Yeah, no, I ended it there. Okay.
This child just wants to reflect upon what he's done.
Okay, let him talk.
I don't feel right about doing this. She lives in the same council estate as me, and she's going to be the same way I am. She has a different situation than I do, but what makes me different from her?
Right, does everyone going to get back in their semicircle? We're going to just discuss the plays that we've just seen. So yeah. So, when it's not your own fault, or when there's injustice done to you. So in the case of the girl, she was sent out to manipulate bread or whatever, but because that was the only way that they were going to eat, and then obviously she gets mugged on the way back because she's a target of prejudice in the community. So has she really done anything other than
And also as well, it's all about perspective and perception. Like, even though she was different from the other characters and their situation was different, we all kind of are in the same situation. And it's all about perception. We talked about some of the lootings that went on in different countries, and sometimes other people may look at it as an act of terrorism or a matter like you're trying to steal from people taking money from the taxpayers, but also it's kind of a matter of survival for them. And in this case as well, it's kind of a matter of trying to help your family, but also as well, it's still a bit wrong in a sense. So let's talk about perspective. Elaborate a bit more.
Basically, the circumstance was that one family was working very hard to support their household. In the other household was receiving, basically, they weren't having to pay very much for their rent. So the neighbours, once they found out that one person is in the exact same circumstances, but they weren't trying as hard, or they weren't having to work as hard for what they got, they sort of turned vigilante and basically thought, well, given that my environment has created this injustice, the only way I can't change the greater picture. So in the short term, I'm going to try and equilibrate and try to make balance by healing from the person who I thought was a bit of an ingrate, basically. It was squandering what they'd been given, basically. And in this instance, I get the person to mug the lady because I know her mother is a drug addict. Like, once more, she doesn't have to pay rent, plus she has addictions. So her addictions are causing her poverty, whereas in this instance, our poverty is basically causing us to act in a violent manner through dealing with this poverty.
Alright, cheers guys. Alright, so that's taken us to 1 o'clock, so it's lunchtime now. We have 1 hour for lunch, and then we'll be meeting back here, so 2 o'clock.
We have cooked for you. There is a small fee for your lunch. I think it's like £1.50 or £2. But if you go to the cafe, which is by the front door, dinner is served. Food.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Oh, and can the team help and go and serve food, please? Are you staying for lunch, Matthew?
You're a little child.